Wuthering Waves had a special stream to celebrate the launch of the game, but it was met with some controversy. The English version anyway. So I'm going to break down what happened in the English version of the stream and the Chinese version so you feel like you get both sides of the story. The English stream featured 5 people, 2 content creators, 1 voice actor, 1 cosplayer, and the host. We got a look at the Waking of a World trailer, which was excellent, and interestingly, the English version seems to have a male vocalist while the Chinese version has a female vocalist. It makes the vibe of the song really different, but I think they both turned out great. We got one of our first looks at this spooky flowery lady, also seen with red hair in this shot. Chun-Li just had an artwork teaser, but this is our first look at her 3D model in the game. And I have to say, she looks amazing. Her awesome glowing head, hello? Her beautiful eyes? They actually made her for me. It's so over. We also got a small glimpse of this guy next to Mortifi, who will probably have a decent role if his appearance is anything to go by. And then there's this silver-haired guy, seen at the end of the trailer. He has a tacet mark on his neck, just like Scar. There was another 1.0 trailer that showcased some of the characters' dialogue, but that was kind of it for the English stream. For the most part, it was just the guests playing minigames, including this game where they were tortured by having to eat something that was both too big and potentially spicy. I mean, there was a little more to it than that, but it was covered in the Chinese stream, so let's just get to that. The Chinese stream begins with lead developer Deng giving a little bit of backstory about the world of Wuthering Waves. It takes place on a planet called Solaris 3, the 3rd closest planet to the sun, and was ravaged by an event called the Lament that changed the world forever. After this event, certain people gained special powers. These people are called Resonators, and of course they're the playable characters of the game. Huanglong is the region that we'll start out in Wuthering Waves, but it's revealed that there will be another area we can explore that was not available even to closed beta players, called Norfall Barrens. They show the 1.0 trailer, and we get a better look at the little creature that appears at the end, this little Digimon looking guy. Not only does it have a tacet mark on its forehead, it also appears to have a tacet mark in each eye. What does it mean? It looks like one of those mascot characters from like Sailor Moon or Cardcaptor Sakura or something. Then we get a small interview with 2 of the Wuthering Waves team members. They explain a little bit about the story and then mention that we're getting some extra story that wasn't seen in the closed betas either. By the looks of it, it features the most interesting characters, so I'm really excited. You'll be able to do 3 different companion stories in 1.0. One for Jian, one for Yinlin, and one for Lingyang. This stream was privy to a little bit of extra footage of Yinlin tying up Rover. They explain that, on top of how they designed the movement in the game with a high degree of freedom, you'll also be able to do these exploration quests that have deeper stories about the world. There, you might find some interesting bosses, so I definitely recommend doing them. The Lament caused the bosses of Wuthering Waves to appear in the world, and that leads us nicely into the boss trailer, where we get a good look at this enemy who looks a lot like the Crownless, but female. This, as we learn, is called Dreamless. And can I just say, Dreamless is so dreamy. Her long, terrifying arms and claws and the wings with hands coming out of them everywhere. I love her, Your Honor. She's perfect, and if they ever make a playable character who looks like this, let me tell you, I will be the first in line. But no, for now she's a boss, which means that she is also probably an Echo. 2 new devs enter the chat, and we get another look at footage that wasn't present in the English livestream, showing Dreamless emerging from this giant sphere in the sky. Something that got a special mention is that the feedback when hitting an enemy is a lot better now. It was kinda weak and pathetic in the previous closed beta, so that's great to hear. They also showed this slow-mo when dealing the final blow to a boss. Pretty cool. And thankfully, when fighting really huge enemies, you can actually see the silhouette of your character through them so you don't get lost anymore. A few different game modes were shown off, including Depths of Elusive Realm, which is one of my favorite from the betas. Depths of Elusive Realm is a roguelite, where you'll choose one character and power them up throughout. Next up, the Echo system. Echoes are like Pokemon and your equipment and skills all in one. Here we got to see the menu looking a little bit nicer with a different background. A lot of Echo abilities have been adjusted or added to, and they showed off the way you can transform into bosses like Inferno Rider and Impermanent Terran, which gives you movement for a set amount of time. Meanwhile, you can also collect Phantom Echoes, which are basically shiny Pokemon, and when you get them, you essentially unlock a skin of that shiny that you can apply to the regular version. So if your Phantom Echo doesn't have the best stats, you can still use its awesome appearance. They explain that they made Tacet Fields more valuable to do by combining more rewards into it. You'll also be able to combine echoes you don't want into one or more echoes that you hopefully do. This way, you can recycle what you've got. And that brings us to the version 1.0 banners. Starting from launch day, Gian and his weapon will be available from 2 separate banners, and there will be a 50% chance that you can get him, like with all characters. And then on June 12th, the game actually finally starts because that's when Yinlin's banner arrives, and she's wonderful. Likewise, her weapon banner will arrive at the same time, and these are limited characters, so if you miss out on them when they debut, you might have to wait a while for them to come back. In addition, there's also the beginner banner system. The initial standard character banner will only cost 50 pulls to guarantee a random 5-star character. And if you pull 10 pulls at a time, you get a discount and it costs 8, meaning it's essentially 40 pulls for a guaranteed random 5-star character. Remember, this does not include limited characters like Gian and Yinlin. Once you've done this one, the banner will change into a banner that lets you target any of the standard characters you want. In this way, you're pretty much guaranteed 2 standard bannered characters for free. We'll be getting a whole lot of rewards, including level up rewards. At Union level 45, we even get a 5-star weapon coffer. And it's recommended to pick the sword from this because so many characters use it and it's got a crit rate stat on it. So keep that in mind before you decide to do any weapon banner pulls. And then there's this awesome new merch. That's pretty much it for the big reveals. Soon, we'll be playing the game ourselves and none of this will be a mystery anymore. Pretty exciting after all this time. But while the English livestream may have been a bit of a miss, Kuro Games doesn't slack when it comes to world building, and you'll have to watch this video if you want to see how good they are at designing a world and the people in it.
I hope I can be the one to embrace all that you are and share with you all that you carry.